That's okay. Hey, what's up, everyone? Nice to see you. It's 2:30. What is it? Is it the 1st of February today? We all got through January. Hey, that's an achievement, isn't it? It felt quite, I've been using the word turgid. That's a strong word, isn't it? It felt a struggle at times. My wife Fred's in the kitchen. She's just sorted her ravioli out and she's having her lunch, but she's going to sit quietly in a moment, I think. She probably isn't going to join in the class. She'll be off camera soon. But I hope you guys are doing all right. Well done for getting through January, as I say. The sun is shining today. And if you made it this far, then you got onto your mat. And that's always an amazing thing. Every time that you practice, whether you're doing this on catch up, look at all the beautiful content that the Virtual Village Hall put out for you guys. That's really great that you can just catch up on stuff. If you're watching it live, then yeah, welcome to everybody up and down the country, the length and the breadth. Wherever you've joined today, a wholehearted welcome from me. And we'll just see how we get on today. I know I talked last week about doing some longer holds, kind of yin yoga style, where we hold the poses for a little bit longer, anything between 3 and 5 minutes, which we won't probably do today because that's a little bit of a long hold for a 45-minute class. But let's see if we can incorporate some of those longer holds in as well. And then we'll flow a little bit and we'll use the breath and just make it a nice varied class. So yeah, make this part of the class really comfortable. So if you want to sit in a chair, you want to sit up against a wall, you know, feel free to do that. Make yourself nice and warm, put a blanket over yourself, like really kind of build a nest where you feel comfortable at the start and you bring as much ease into the body as you can, because that's the point of the practice. Well, point of the physical practice, one of the points is to kind of like bring ease into the body. Sure, we want to work and we want to probably get a little bit more flexible, want to get a little bit stronger, but a lot of the time we just want to find comfort within the poses. So whatever that means for you, then I encourage you to bring that in. And remember, there's nothing off the table apart from don't hurt yourself, because we don't want to go there. And we don't want to kind of like be those joyless strivers where we kind of like really muscle into the poses and we try and be really good at it. Because I always say to people, there's no good and bad in yoga. And they always look at me a bit suspiciously to say, I think there is, Dave, but there's not, right? It's only you that judges yourself. And what we're trying to do is try to get away from that, of just being really kind and compassionate to ourselves, and then kind of like just spreading that joy, love, I don't know, anything in between. It doesn't have to be a certain thing, but yeah, that's kind of where we're trying to go with our mental, physical, and energetic practice, however you want to kind of categorize it. So with that in mind, I've got my book out again, Brightening Our Inner Skies. Hold on a minute. What am I doing? Brightening Our Inner Skies, Yin and Yoga by Norman Blair. Beautiful book. Have a look at Norman Blair's stuff. Some really nice content from him online. So I'm going to read this today, and I've been reading it all week in my classes. He talks about generosity, or dana, generosity. All right. So this is what Norman says, words of wisdom. Sharing with others and lessening of this me identity is profound. Being increasingly willing to connect wears down the great walls that are constructed in vain attempts of self-protection. Oh, it's deep, isn't it, right? This is about intention and an ongoing attitude of openness. Well-being is learnt in many ways. Acknowledging that mistakes are made because we're human, that we're eating properly, we're properly resting, we're exercising, we're steady breathing, and we're spending quality time with good friends. Yoga practice can certainly be among those ways. The simple act of staying can assist calmness. The calm mind opens doorways to well-being. For my part, I have made more insights practicing yin yoga and meditation than when moving rapidly around the mat or rushing to catch a bus. You know, a lot of that yang energy where we're rushing around and we're busy and we get a little bit, you know, hectic in our lives. Norman says, one difficulty is that we are moving rapidly and we're rushing for so much of the time. The difficulty is that too many of us are working too much, that there is not enough play. Work is the religion. Long hours and few holidays demolish the 1980s myth that technology would introduce the leisure society. I'm crazy busy, someone said to me recently. It's very yang, which is striving, achieving, and forcing. The qualities of yin, softening, accepting, and feeling, are being marginalized and neglected. For grizzly bears, the ones that play the most tend to live the longest. For children, the way of maximizing learning is not through rigid programming, but through play. When we play, our vision is less tunneled and we are more open to possibilities. Rather than absolute statements, rigid views, and blind loyalty, the picture becomes broader. And I like that. So I'll do another little reading towards the end, but that one really resonates with me. And hopefully you kind of picked up a little bit of that. And we'll do a little bit of breath work. I just want to get the page so I'm ready for the next reading. I'll probably just have a quick look. There we go. All right, good. I'm ready for the next bit. So come sitting up nice and tall. As I say, you can do this on your mat. You can do it on a chair or against the wall. Hi to Alan. Always lovely to have you back, Alan. And to Margaret and Irene, thank you for your comments, guys. So sit nice and tall. Maybe bring the palms up and just relax the palms. Have a little wriggle through your fingers. And if it feels good, maybe close your eyes. And keep the gaze really soft. Relax your shoulder blades down your back. And then bring that length into your spine if you've kind of lost that a little bit. So you give yourself loads of room to breathe into here. And from here, just watch your breath. Inhaling, exhaling. In and out through the nose if it's available to you. And these might be your first conscious breaths of the day. Everything else might have been on autopilot. You got out of bed, you got busy. So really relish these breaths that you're paying attention to. And without breathing too deeply or with any particular effort, try and just broaden the breath out a little bit. Make it a little bit more nourishing. So that idea that conscious breathing is a real kind of doorway into our physicality, but also into our mental state. Know that there's a breath for everything. And I guess one of the first tips or rules for wellness is to breathe consciously. To move the body in any way that feels appropriate on any given day. Just take a couple more rounds of breath here and see if you can just soften a tiny bit more. Think about the crown of the head. Think about the base of your spine. Breathe up and down. And then when you're ready, really gently, slowly, your eyes are closed. Just come with your eyes open. Nice. A little bit of movement through the head, through the neck. So with your chin at center, just begin to circle your head out. We'll do some really gentle moves here at the start. Maybe inhaling as the head comes up, maybe exhaling as the chin just falls down. And if anything, kind of making this slower. Or maybe there's a temptation where you think, you know what, I'll speed it up and I'll make the movements a bit bigger, but try and go the other way where you make the movements slower and don't worry too much about the depth. Notice if you hold any tension. There's usually some somewhere. Maybe in the shoulder blades, maybe the back, maybe the jaw. So think about yielding, letting everything go and softening here. So a nice soft physical practice. And then when you're ready, come back to center and then just swap out the other way. Notice any changes, any difference. And when you're ready, inhale, bring the head all the way back to center. Take a full exhale. Nice. Just a little bit of movement through your shoulders. So maybe just roll your shoulders a few times. Maybe just shrug the shoulders. This doesn't have to be a kind of a formal movement. Maybe shrugging up towards your ears. Maybe roll in and maybe one shoulder, the other shoulder. Kind of bring that expression of movement in that feels good for you now. Don't worry about what it looks like. And then from here, even though you can't see the lower part of my body, take an inhale, just sweep the arms up. I'm going to move in a moment. For here, just do a little twist over towards the right. Not a big one. Right hand behind, left hand maybe on the right knee. Inhale to find length and then exhale into your twist. Breathing deeply here. Every inhale, find length. Every exhale into your twist. When you're ready, come back to center and then just swap that out to the other side. Keeping the chin in line with the sternum. So you don't want to drop the chin down too much. You don't need to kind of be too forceful with the neck. And we're just bringing a very gentle twist into the body. And then we'll make this dynamic. So we'll move in and out. So as you inhale, come over to the right. And then as you exhale, just twist over to the left. Now the arms can swing a little bit here. I'm not bringing a big movement in, but maybe match this movement with breath. Inhale one side, exhale the other. Gentle movements, right? Just thinking about the spine opening, thinking about length in the spine and then twisting the spine. Just be gentle. Doesn't matter how you're sat. You know, if you're sat and perched on a chair or on your settee, you can do this from that position with the soles of the feet on the floor. Nice. And then inhale, come back to center. And then take a full exhale. All right, carrying on with that twisting, bring the right hand on your heart. I don't know why I always tap like that, but I always do. Right hand on the heart. And then inhale this left arm out to the left. So it's that kind of movement. And then as you exhale, swap and exhale to the right. So inhale left, exhale right. Just be careful you don't hit anything. I've got a few things around me here, so I've just got to be a little bit careful with my arms. And this is a little bit more of an expansive twist. But again, it doesn't have to be super fast or deep. It's just about twisting the body open and using the breath to enliven the body. This is all about kind of moving the energy around. It doesn't have to be a big movement. Now you can move the head with the arm, maybe look down the arm as it swings backwards, but don't strain the neck. We've only done a tiny bit of work there. Keep the jaw super relaxed. Remember, you don't have to take your practice really seriously. It can be just that movement that feels good for you. It doesn't have to be super complicated. And if this feels too much, then just move gently, really gently. We're all going to look different, right? All our bodies are totally different. So there's no point in comparing ourselves. And the nice thing about practicing at home is you don't have that kind of comparison of, oh, I'm not doing it right. I can't do this. Take a break when you need to. That's probably way enough here. So a couple of times either side, and then inhale, come back to center, and then bring your hands into prayer. Take a full exhale through the mouth. Do that one more time. So nice deep inhale through the nose. And a full exhale through your mouth. Pressing the hands together. Inhale, sweeping the arms all the way up. And then as you exhale, just bring the hands down and then bring the hands behind your back. So you're going to make a fist. So the fist is going to be like this. Inhale here, open the chest, look up. And then as you exhale, just round your spine, just a tiny bit. And you just come down. I know I'm very close to the camera here. I am going to move in a moment. Inhale, come all the way back up. Try and bring the arms away from the back a little bit. And then exhale, just round the spine. Inhaling up. Open the chest, a little hint of a back bend, and then exhale round the spine. It's like I'm bowing down to you guys. All right, one more. Inhale up, and then exhale down. Inhale, come all the way back up, And then exhale, just unclasp the hands and give the shoulders a little shake out, a little wriggle. And then if you're sat in a chair, you did all of those movements from a chair, then you might want to join me on the mat. You may be able to do quite a bit of this from a chair as well. So see how you get on. I'm going to move. Now, I've been sat on my heels for 15 minutes now, so I'm probably not going to be able to walk very well. So I'm going to shuffle back onto my mat. And then if you're there, come and join me. Bring your legs out long and then lean into your hands. So have your fingertips pointing forward and just rotate your ankles and you kind of spin your toes out in one direction. This is more for my benefit because I've been doing a lot of running in my life, so my feet get really tight and my ankles get tight. But this is a really nice movement. Now, if you can, give the legs a little shake and then see if you can spread your toes out. I find that super difficult to do. It's like I don't have the motor skill for it. So I just kind of give my toes a little wriggle. You see some people and they can really spread their toes, but I find that really difficult to do. So be curious about what you can do, what you can't do, but don't see it as a diminishing factor. It's all good. And then from here, if you weren't there already, just come with your left shin in front. And if you want to prop yourself up here, then feel free. Sit nice and tall. Take an inhale, sweep the arms all the way back up. And then as you exhale, now a little bit more of a twist. So right hand behind, left hand on the right knee. Inhale to find length. And then exhale into your twist. The second time we've been here. This time, inhale, sweep the arms all the way back up. Find some length and then exhale over to the left. Just a couple of breaths. Inhaling, exhaling as you go. Inhale, come all the way back to center. And then as you exhale, nice seated forward fold. Bring the hands out in front and then just really breathe into the lumbar spine. You don't have to come down too far. You can be here, you can be on the forearms, you can stay nice and high, you can wriggle around a little bit, whatever feels good for you. Bring a range of movement in that suits your body. Maybe it's stillness. Maybe there's movement. Let the head be really loose. And breathe into the parts of the body that really need nourishment. All right, from here, we're going to go with a tried and tested formula. So we're going to walk the hands all the way back and then untuck your legs and then come onto all fours. Anything going on with the knees, pad the knees out. You can always bring a blanket under the knees, or some people have the little squishy foam blocks, whatever you've got. And then spread out through your fingers and set yourself up in this tabletop position. Nice. All right, from here, take an inhale, drop your belly down, lift your head, lift your heart. As you exhale, round your spine. So cat and cow. Inhale forward, exhale round. Inhale and exhale. And then a rhythm that works for you. You can move really slowly. You can move at my pace, or obviously you can speed it up, whatever feels nice. Always inhale here as the spine elongates and the head and the heart lift. And always exhale here as you round the spine and push into the hands and separate the shoulders. Couple more rounds. Inhale, come all the way back to center. As you exhale, just step the right foot back. Nice. And we're going to do a little adapted side plank here. So you're going to see if you can spin the right toes so they just point towards the long edge of the right hand side of your mat, or just pointing to the right. And then bring the left hand in the middle and then inhale your right arm up. So just find that balance. It's not as strong as a side plank, And then thinking about those right fingers, think about the middle right finger and stretch it up a little bit more as you root down through the outer edge of that back foot. So nice and strong through the leg, feeling that engagement. And then as you exhale, bring everything down. And then do that on the other side. So first of all, stretch the left leg back. Nice. And then turn the toes to the left-hand side now. Bring the right hand in the middle. You know where you're going to go. Inhale the left arm up. Breathe in deeply. You can look down, you can look up. Whatever feels good for you. Deep inhales. Full exhales. A couple more rounds of breath. Deep inhale. Full exhale. And one more like that. Nice deep inhale. And the full exhale. Bring the left hand down, come back to all fours, and then sit back into your child's pose. So to get there, knees are quite wide, big toes somewhat together, all together, and then use the hands just to encourage the hips down towards the heels. They don't need to touch. Mine aren't there, but I know after, I don't know, if I spent 3 or 4 minutes here, then eventually my body would open enough to sink down a little further. So never force anything, just breathe deeply. Think about this as a nice safe space where you feel that softness through the heart, through the belly, a little firmness through the spine. A really nice way to think about how we interact with the world, with softness and firmness and trying to find that balance. It's hard, right? It's all a practice. So child's pose here, one that we come back to time and time again. When we're feeling a little frazzled and overwhelmed, a really lovely pose to come into. If you can find a position where you can settle, it can really serve you well. And then just take 2 more rounds of breath. And then when you're ready, really gently, slowly, see if you can just lay the forearms down. They should be there anyway, but keep them in line, your elbows in line with your shoulders. And then step 1 foot back, and then the other foot back. You come to lie down on your belly. It should feel quite relaxed. You might need a little adjustment and a wriggle through your hips. Spread out through your fingers. Press the tops of the feet to the floor. Really root down through the forearms. And then as you do that, lift the chest just a little bit and come into Sphinx pose. Remember, if this feels too much in your lower spine, then wing your elbows out wide and you might lay down like here, a little bit lower. Whatever feels good for you. Breathe it out. And feel free, you can always drop the chin down, or you can place the chin in the hands, you can bend into the elbows and you can be here. You'll probably feel something quite similar, but it just supports the back of the neck and there's no weight going through the back of the neck. The head is supported. So find something that works for you. And this is one of those yin yoga holds where we just hold for a little bit longer. We're going to be here for another 90 seconds. So plenty of time. If you find that your mind is a little distracted, then maybe just anchor down onto your breath. These longer holds can be really valuable to us. They can really help us find that clarity within our practice. It doesn't always have to be about moving quickly and powerfully. In fact, this more yin energy where the holds are longer and the practice a little bit more contemplative, then that can be very rewarding, taking time out from your busy life probably. Breathe into the lower spine. A couple more rounds of breath. And then when you're ready, really slowly, just bring the elbows out wide and then just bring the forehead down onto your right hand or the left. It doesn't actually matter. The elbows are really wide and then you're just lying down on your mat and you're breathing deeply. And then tuck your toes under and then just give the feet a little stretch out and lift the kneecaps. Nice. Beautiful. All right, from here, you're going to make sure that the left forearm is lined up at the top edge of your mat. You want to press down through the left forearm and it wants to line up. All right, bend into the right knee and then sweep the right arm behind and see if you can just catch hold of your foot. Now, if you can't, I should have said this at the start, actually, you can grab a strap or a belt or something and just loop it around your ankle or your foot, or you can just pull the foot in so you could be here. If you can hold it, great, from the inside or the outside, and then press into that left arm, lift the chest as much as you can. So quad stretch and a bit of a back stretch as well. So you're going to feel a little bit of movement here. As you do it, try and anchor that right knee down towards the floor. So you don't want to kind of pull the leg all the way up. Nice. Take one more round of breath. And then as you exhale, let everything go. And then just swap that out. Have a little wriggle if you need to. Kind of realign the spine. Right arm lined up with the top right edge of your mat. Bend into the left knee. And then whatever you do on one side, just hug that left foot in. As you hug the left foot in towards the left glute, press into the right arm and lift the chest just a tiny bit. But be gentle, don't have to strain here. One more round of breath. And then as you exhale, bring everything down onto your mat. Bring the hands under the shoulders, push yourself back onto all fours. Do that very gently. And then when you're ready, just move for a few more rounds of cat and cow. It feels good, right? When we've been in quite a deep stretch into the spine there for a good amount of time, then moving the spine can feel really freeing. Kind of let the blood flow back in. You might kind of want to shake the tailbone a little bit. You might want to draw some circles. Bring the movements in that feel good for you. Nice. From here, we're going to tuck our toes and come into downward facing dog. All right, now we're going to go into this position, lifting the hips. Nice generous bend in the knees. You see how bent my knees are, and that means I can get a little bit of length in my spine. And then bring your awareness to your navel. Tuck your navel in just a tiny bit. Let the head be really loose. Maybe shake it out. Because we've moved into the neck, then hopefully a little freer from when you started. Nice. And then when you're ready, big bend in the knees, then walk your hands back towards your feet. And then go nice and wide with the feet. Step forward just a little bit. Feet right on the edges of your mat, and then just hang in a standing forward fold. Now try and resist that temptation to muscle yourself down towards the floor. Bring some movements in. Maybe your hands are here on the knees like mine. Maybe you fold in a little deeper. Let the head be really loose. Free up the legs, free up your spine. Breathe in deeply here. And then when you're ready, press into the feet and inhale with the hands dangling, just come all the way up to stand. So you'll find yourself towards the back of your mat, and then what you want to do is come to the front of your mat when you're ready. Nice, step forward very gently. And then with all of that work we've done so far, it's been very relatively gentle. Let's just Bring it into a little bit of flow. So moving with the breath. Take an inhale, sweep the arms all the way up, reach up towards the sky. As you exhale, hinge and fold in, come down into your standing forward fold. Inhale to draw some length into your spine. So this is where we come up halfway. We lengthen the spine as much as we can. Maybe here, right up on the thighs. As you exhale, the hands are down. Step one foot back, then the other. And then take a really nice deep inhale and just lengthen into your first plank. Remember, you can drop the knees here, so you can be here. This can feel good. Or you press into the outer edges of your feet and you breathe out. Nice and strong here. Little movements can feel good, but try and keep the hips in line with the feet. The hips in line with the shoulders, not too high, not too low. And then when you're ready, drop the knees. As you exhale, lower all the way down. Concentrate on keeping the elbows tucked in and lower as slowly as you can. When you arrive on your belly, press the tops of the feet into the floor. Inhale into cobra, and then exhale into downward facing dog. Just push the mat firmly away. Breathe gently here. Remember that bend in the knees. The head is loose. They're probably the most important things. Spread out through the fingers. Nice. When you're ready, bend the knees, hinge the hips, look between the hands, and then gently step to the top of your mat, one foot, then the other. Nice and wide with the feet probably, and then inhale, come up to that flat back position. As you exhale, fold in deep, and then root down into your feet. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. And then as you exhale, frame your hands to heart center. Let's go again. Inhale up. And then exhale, hinge and fold. Nice bend in the knees as you come down. Inhale, lengthen, come up halfway. And then as you exhale, hands are down. Step one foot back, then the other. Inhale here just to lengthen into your plank. Remember, you can drop the knees or you can stay high. When you're ready, as you exhale, lower to the floor, knees are dropped or lower in one piece. Inhale into cobra, and then exhale into downward facing dog. Nice. Breathe it out. Deep inhales. Full exhales. One more like that. Nice deep inhale. And a full exhale. Bending the knees, hinge in the hips, up between your hands, and then gently step to the top of your mat, one foot then the other. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold. Root down into your feet. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. And then exhale, hands to your heart. Nice. Beautiful. From here, we're just going to open the arms out. So open that right arm all the way over to the right, and then the left arm all the way over to the left. So just open up. Try and keep your hips square on to the top edge of your mat. Take a couple of rounds of breath. You can look forward or you can look back. Just find a little stretch through the shoulders. And then from here, inhale, right arm up to meet the left. And then as you exhale, twist to the other side. Keeping the arms square, the arms to the side and the hips square on. Inhale, bring the left arm up. And then exhale over to the right. So move with your breath. Inhale, the arms are coming up. And then exhale over to the left. Inhale to the right, to the center. Exhale to the right. Nice. Inhale to center. Exhale to the right. So a little dynamic movement now. Inhale to center. Exhale. Inhale to the center. Exhale. Two more times. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale to your twist. Inhale up. Exhale, final time. Inhale all the way up, and then exhales into your forward fold. Come to hinge and come all the way down. Your next inhale, flat back, maybe come up really high like I do, lengthen your spine. And then as you exhale, standing forward fold. When you're ready, inhale, sweep the arms up, come all the way up to stand. And then as you exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Beautiful. All right, we're going to transition to the floor, so we'll do it this way. Final time. Inhale, sweep your arms up. As you exhale, hinge and fold. And then just step back into your final downward facing dog, one foot then the other. Spend a couple of breaths here. We've not done huge amounts, but maybe notice how this one feels. And then as you exhale, soften the knees down, come into your second child's pose, toes together. Arms can be stretched out or down here by your feet, as long as your head and your neck feel protected. And take a few rounds of breath. And then when you're ready, really gently bring your hands back in front of the knees or just by the side. Press into your hands. Come all the way up. And then just flip over onto your right or your left hip. Bring your legs out in front. And then we're going to lie down on our back. So do that anyway. Nice and simple way is just to bring the feet down, bring the hands down by the hips, and then gently lower yourself down onto the floor. You can hug the knees in. Enjoy this sensation of lying down for the first time. Really lengthen the tailbone down into your mat. Maybe draw circles with the knees. That can feel quite nice. As long as you bring the massage in to the spine, then that can feel really good. And then you're going to keep the right knee hugged in and then bring the sole of the left foot down on the floor. Cross the right foot over the left thigh or the left knee and open the right knee out. So we're just going to come into reclined pigeon. You can stay here if you want. You can push the right knee away with the right hand. You can thread through the gap and make a basket grip around the back of the left thigh. So your choice where you want to go. Make sure your shoulders are nice and soft. Back of the neck feels long, so no pinching in the back of the neck. Really try and relax the basket grip around the back of the leg just a little bit. Try not to bring too much tension into the arms. And if that means a little bit of movement through the spine, then go for it. It can feel really nice. Right glute, right hip. Breathe into those parts of the body that really need your nourishment. Open them. Take one more round of breath. And then as you exhale, soften the left foot down, relax the grip, and then uncross that right foot. When you're ready, set yourself up for the other side. So left foot over the right thigh or the right knee. Maybe this is where you want to stay, or you can push that left knee out very gently. So it's an external rotation of the hip. Or maybe use that basket grip around the back of the right thigh. And it's worth finding as much ease as you can in this pose. Sometimes it can feel a little bit of a strain, so maybe close the eyes. Let the breath come back to a nice steady rhythm. Idea of kind of little opposing forces here. See where you can engage, see where you can soften. Let's take one more round of breath. And as you exhale, bring the right foot down, uncross the left foot, and then you'll find both feet nice and wide as they can go. I mean, not as wide as they can go, probably right on the edges of your mat, if that feels okay. Walk the feet in just a tiny bit, and then you might be able to touch your ankles. That's probably in the right place. And then lengthen your arms, just so they're in line with your shoulders, and then drop your knees over to the right-hand side. So a nice gentle twist here. Maybe look over to the left. Take a few nourishing breaths in this wide leg twist. When you're ready, take an inhale, bring the knees back to center. As you exhale, drop them over to the left. Make any adjustments that feel good. Maybe look down that right arm. When you're ready, inhale, bring the knees back to center. Then probably one final time, just to hug your knees in towards your belly here. And then as you exhale, just lengthen your legs down your mat. If that feels okay, you can always bend into the knees or find a shavasana that works for you. Palms face up. Soles of the feet can be on the floor, or if you really prefer it, lie on your side or your belly, or you can come and sit back in your chair. But wherever you find yourself, find some ease and maybe close your eyes or just soften your gaze and drop into this brief moment of stillness. See if you can really relax. And then from here, when you're ready, just a little bit of movement. Start with your fingers and your toes. And then you roll out through your ankles, through your wrists. And then probably a nice big stretch through your body. Maybe yawn here. Hook your knees back in towards your belly, excuse me. And then just roll over to one side. And then press yourself up. So you come back to a seated position. I'm just going to move forward. Nice, everyone. Come sit with a nice straight spine, and now just do that very small final reading. So this is regarding community and connection to others. Community can be developed in different ways. According to Aldous Huxley, it's a little embarrassing to have spent one's entire life pondering the human situation and find oneself in the end with nothing more profound to say than try to be a little nicer. Caitlin Moran wrote, "The world is difficult and we're all breakable, so just be kind." In the opinion of novelist Henry James, 3 things in human life are important: The first is to be kind. The second is to be kind. And the third is to be kind. Laosho Ken Rinpoche, a 20th century Tibetan teacher, gave this advice: relax, just relax, be nice to each other. And as you go through life, simply be kind to people. Or the approach from Monty Python in the film of The Meaning of Life: try to be nice to people, avoid eating fat, read a good book every now and then, get some walking in, and try to live in harmony with the people of all creeds and nations. A focus on kindness softens that centralizing of self. Instead of reinforcing our individual castles, digging deeper moats and building higher walls, we can realize that an opposite of fear is trust. Trust in ourselves and trust in other people. These are good foundations. Really nice. All right, let's bring our hands to heart center with that in mind. Taking a couple of breaths. And then as you just bow your head down towards your prayer, just wish yourself well, wish everybody else well, and thank yourself for getting onto your mat. Namaste. Thanks, everyone. It's really nice to see you. Thank you to the Virtual Village Hall, as ever, for their beautiful service and their wonderful hosting and letting, you guys do what you do and us guys do what we do, and then we kind of bring it together in this union, which is what yoga is. Thank you, Jackie. I'm glad it's what you needed. Thank you to Lisa, Irene, Anna. Thank you so much, guys. All right, I'll see you all next week. Whatever you're doing, then make it a good one. Or if it's not too good, that's all right as well. All right. If you can get some yoga in between seeing me, do that as well. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you all later. Bye.